We're excited for our next guest, 25 years old. Okay, what were you doing at 25? Do you remember? What were you doing at 25?
I was married, a homeowner, and was working 90 hours a week.
You were doing well. Oh, wow.
For $22,000 a year. I remember that very well.
Wow, look how far you've come. This 25-year-old progressive organizer, we're talking about Maxwell Frost, took a big step to history, winning the Democratic nomination for Florida's 10th congressional district and becoming the favorite to win the heavily Democratic district seat in November.
That's right, and joining us now is the candidate who could become the first Gen Z member of Congress, Maxwell Frost. Maxwell, welcome to GMA3, and congratulations. You beat 9 competitors, including 2 former members of Congress, for your Democratic nomination. So tell me how the last few days have been. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, and good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. You know, it's an incredible blessing, and I feel incredibly humbled to have the support that we needed to win this race. You know, I can't tell you the feeling I had, of course, winning at the victory party, but just being around so many supporters, so many people who knocked doors, made phone calls, and that grassroots organizing is not only how we're going to flip Florida from red to blue, but how we're going to bring together our state around common shared values.
Now, you're talking about issues there. You're talking like, forgive me for the use of the word, a politician, but so much, and I know in the ways you're introduced, we start with the age, 25 years old. But why is the fact that you are 25? How is that an upside, a plus, and could be a bonus for all of us if more of you, more folks of you around your age are in Congress?
Yeah, well, I decided to run for this office because I really care about the folks here in the 10th Congressional District and in Orlando. So I didn't run to be the first Gen Z member of Congress, but it's an incredibly important part of the story. I think it shows a shift in the political sphere, per se. You know, we typically have a caricature of what a candidate looks like. You know, usually a bit older, maybe someone who is a millionaire or a lawyer. I'm neither of those things, right? I'm a grassroots organizer, born and raised here in Orlando, worked at the ACLU, worked at March for Our Lives. But I believe we need a Congress that looks like the country. And yes, in terms of race, but also experience and age. And, you know, I'll tell you something that gives me a lot of hope for my race. As you said, there was 9 people in it. Of those 9 people, there was a teacher. You know, there's a dietitian, there was a civil rights attorney, there was different types of people from different walks of life. And I think more elections need to look that way because we need a Congress that looks like America and has those experiences.
And Maxwell, also part of your story, I understand this all kind of began with a pretty important phone call, but you didn't think this was your time. What changed your mind? You didn't think maybe this was the right time or the right path for you right now. What changed your mind?
What changed everything for me was actually connecting with my biological mother. You know, I was adopted at birth. My mom came here from Cuba in the late 1960s. She's a special education teacher. My father's a musician who, when he gave me a drum set in the 2nd grade, it changed my life forever. But connecting with my biological mom, hearing about her story, having her tell me that she had me at one of the most vulnerable points in her life, hearing about the many siblings I had, you know, after I hung up that phone, I said, I need to run for Congress for folks like my biological mother, for folks like my mother, for folks like my father, and for my community.
You said for folks like your mother and your father, but what about folks like you, including college students, some who are just got that announcement and going to benefit, and some maybe not benefit as much as they wanted from the announcement about canceling debt? Those types of issues, you think you can be a voice for those issues in a way that maybe some of the others in Congress cannot?
Definitely, and it's because I understand the urgency of these issues. You know, as someone who has come up through this generation, I call Gen Z, it's the mass shooting generation. You know, I've been through more school shooting drills than I have fire drills. And so when I go to Congress, I'm bringing the urgency that our issues deserve. When we talk about the climate crisis, you know, I live in Florida. This is ground zero for that. We're already experiencing the effects, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done because the cost of not doing anything is far greater than the cost of taking bold action. And every year we wait, the bill is getting higher and higher and higher, and it's going to go to not just our generation, but our kids and our kids' kids.
And some of that work you're doing, do I have right? You're part-time Uber driver? Is that right? You still doing that?
Yeah, well, when I quit my job at March for Our Lives to run, I had some money in the bank. It was not enough. Completely ran out after a few months, and I had to figure out how to pay my bills, and decided Uber driving would be the most flexible schedule to do that. And so, I think I started in November of last year, up until now, and I joke around, as a member of Congress, maybe sometimes I'll flip on the app and go give some constituents a few rides.
Okay. Well, man, when we're down at Disney World again, we'll get an Uber and maybe you'll pull up. But man, it's really a pleasure to talk to you. It is so good and encouraging and refreshing to see someone like you involved in the process. So good luck to you. We'll probably see you in November. Thanks so much for being with us.
Of course. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.